Today is an Inside Petite Style Celebrity Edition, where we're going to do a deep dive into Reese Witherspoon's style and how she manages to look so amazing in every situation, whether it's red carpet elegant or career wear professional, stylishly casual at dinner with friends, or weekend cool while hanging out with her kids. Because that is a gift, and we know it's not easy. Many of us aspire to have a wardrobe that contains the perfect outfit for every appointment or event on our calendar. Yet, very few of us ever achieve that. Now, this isn't about dressing like RW. It's about taking note of the 5 clever style decisions she consistently makes, taking what you like, translating that into your own personal style, and then ignoring what doesn't resonate with you. Because this is about you having the tools you need to make getting dressed faster and easier in the morning and leaving the house feeling confident. I'm Angela, your petite style coach, and when you're ready, let's jump in. Welcome to Inside Petite Style, the only podcast created exclusively for women 5'3" and under. You've built an incredible career. You've navigated all the crazy life changes. And somewhere along the way, getting dressed stopped being easy. Maybe your body's different or your role is different, and your closet, it just has not kept up. I'm Angela Foster, petite style coach since 2018 and creator of the Spark Petite Style Method. And together, you and I will get your wardrobe back in shape. Every week, we'll talk about why petite proportions require a different approach. Discover what actually flatters your body shape and works with your lifestyle. And get all the insider shortcuts on where to shop so you're not wasting hours scrolling or, even worse, settling for good enough. This is about more than looking good. It's about walking into any room, whether it's a big presentation or client meeting, a family event, or heck, just Tuesday, and feeling confident, polished, with a style as smart and savvy as you are. Let's get this style party started. Okay, so confession time. This episode was supposed to go live 2 or 3 weeks ago. But honestly, I went down such a huge rabbit hole while preparing and researching that it just kept getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. One of the things I noticed, though, as I was cyber stalking her, is that she has every step of the Spark Petite Style Method nailed down. And since the Spark steps build on each other, I thought it would make sense to go in that order. By the way, all of these pictures are pulled from the Reese Witherspoon Pinterest board. So if you're listening to the audio only, I'll put the link in the show notes so you can check it out later. Plus, there are a bajillion other images that didn't make the cut but serve as terrific outfit inspiration. We're going to start with S, which is body shape. One of the things I noticed is that it's difficult to tell a picture that was taken today or 5, 10, 15 years ago. Part of that is because her style is so consistent. Absolutely. A lot of it, though, has to do with the fact that she knows what looks good on her individual shape and then sticks with it. It appears that she is a body shape number 3, meaning her shoulder and bust measurement is the same or very similar to her hip and thigh measurement, which makes her a balanced body shape. Now, balanced body shapes have 2 options, right? They can either keep the balance, meaning wearing tailored shapes, top and bottom, or they can add volume to the top or bottom, but not both in the same outfit. In case you're new here and the term balanced body shape or body shape 3, 4, or 6 are unfamiliar to you, first of all, welcome. I'm so glad that you stopped by. And also, after the episode wraps, you'll want to hop on over to InsidePetiteStyle.com and take the Petite body shape quiz. Reese understands her proportions instinctively, but most of us don't, and that's exactly what the quiz helps clarify. For petites especially, it's critical to know the styles that flatter your shape best because we have less vertical real estate. So iffy choices that taller women can get away with can be disastrous on us. Now, don't be concerned. The quiz is super fast. It's only 7 questions and takes about 2 minutes. It lives full time at InsidePetiteStyle.com, and I'll be sure to add the link to the episode show notes so you don't have to hunt it down. Afterwards, it will really help you recognize the shapes that you should gravitate towards and the ones that you should stay away from. Okay, back to body shape real quick. So for signature body shape number 3s, They have the option to add volume to the top or bottom, but not both in the same outfit. She really doesn't play around with volume a ton, and I think that also ties into her timeless classic style. Now, what you'll typically see is that she adds volume, minimal volume, from her waist down in the form of fit and flare dresses or A-line skirts. Speaking of balance, she also does a beautiful job balancing the amount of skin she shows, meaning she'll wear a short pencil skirt but then pair it with a buttoned up top and blazer, or when she wears something tailored that shows her shape, it's a smidge longer, like right above or below her knee. One more thing, and that is petite proportion. Now, we talk a lot about proportion in episode, I don't know, maybe 13, I can't remember. I'll link it in the show notes because that would be a super helpful episode to watch also. In the meantime, some examples of her using proportion well is that her waistband typically hits right at her visible waistline, making her legs look longer. She also frequently adds definition at her waist with belts and fit and flare dresses, short or cropped jackets and sweaters. She also keeps her styles clean and minimal in detail, all hallmarks of great petite style. We're ready to move on to the P in the Spark Style method, and that is your perfect petite pants. She rarely misses here, which is so rare for short girls and should give every petite confidence that it can be done. Skinny jeans is a perfect example. When everybody was screaming at us to burn all the skinny jeans that we had, Reese continued to embrace them. And thank goodness she did because they look amazing on her. But that says two things, right? The first one is such knowledge as to what looks good on her. And the second thing is such confidence in her own personal style. So a couple things that you want to take note of. The first one is the length and the leg shape. And there are very specific lengths for different leg shapes in order to be flattering on a petite. She wears all three lengths. She wears cropped, she wears ankled, and then of course she wears full length. Because we talked about it so much in last week's episode, I don't want to bore you with all of the details, but in case you missed it, ankle length looks great on skinny, tailored, cigarette, whatever you want to call them. Cropped looks amazing in flared or even a moderate boot cut. If you listen to the flared leg pant episode and have yet to take the plunge, this might change your mind. How fantastic do these look on her? Especially because she has a few more curves than usual and the leg shape balances out her hip and bum brilliantly. Full length looks great in either flares or wide leg. Now, she normally up-levels her jeans by pairing them with a pointed toe heel. Those are great on petites because they really give us the illusion of length and again, making our legs look longer. Have you ever seen so many pointed toe heels shoes in your life? If that didn't make you want to go out and search for some, I don't know what to say. I had to add this image of the pale pink pointed toe shoes. We talk a lot about wearing shoes that match your skin tone, but this is such a fun twist on nude or off-white. The two big takeaways in the pants section that we can learn from Reese Witherspoon is know the ones that look best on you and embrace them no matter what anybody else says. And the second one is make sure that the leg shape and the shoe choice and the length are spot on for you. The A in Spark stands for accessories. Now, we talked about her shoes already. And while her cell phone and her sunglasses are definitely a frequent signature, let's focus on the handbags and the jewelry. Handbags first. There are two components that petites should keep an eye out for. The first one is size, and the second one is shape. When it comes to shape, the more minimal, the better. Also, if you can pair minimal with structured, we're golden. You may have heard me mention the mirror test before. If not, in a nutshell, accessories, no matter what they are one of those things that should be tried on in front of a full-length mirror. The reason why is because we want to see ourselves from head to toe and make sure that the accessory is in alignment with our size. So many times, especially large handbags, can overwhelm a petite frame, and the only way to know that is if you see the big picture. She loves a big handbag. And then I also think, well, she's a producer, an entrepreneur, a mom, and on and on and on. So she probably has quite a bit to carry around with her. For us, though, we always need to default to the mirror test to make sure that the handbag is in proportion to our body. This is also a perfect example of how you can break a rule as long as you don't break all the rules at the same time. So she may break the size rule, but never the size and structure rule at the same time. Something else to take note of when you're looking in the mirror, and that is that the body of the handbag doesn't rest at our widest part. So for example, if my hips are the widest part, then I want the body of the handbag to rest above or below, but not right at my hips. Same thing. I have a pesky middle section. So what that means then is I don't want the body of the handbag to rest right at my middle. Either above or below is going to be the most flattering. As far as jewelry goes, Reese keeps it to a minimum, which, thinking about my clients who live in the South, this runs pretty much true to character. At the risk of making a broad generalization, they tend to choose one or two timeless classic pieces and leave it at that. So the two big takeaways from the accessory piece of this is that when you break the rules, and I hope that you do it with knowledge and intention. Number two is whether you decide to go maximalist jewelry or minimalist jewelry and have a few staple pieces, make sure that it feels authentic to you. We are ready for R, which is refine your style. And this is where your style really becomes your own and where it really feels like you. Now, it's actually three different parts. The first one is color. The second one is defining your style. And then the third one is making sure your style reflects your business and or personal brand. Let's tackle color first. The first step is to know the colors that look best on our skin. Absolutely. It's going to make our skin look brighter and clearer and more youthful and make us look more wide awake. The thing that we can take away from all of these pictures is that she absolutely follows the guideline of picking a few neutrals and then adding in either a favorite color or a seasonal pop of color. Now, on a side note, did you have any idea she wore so much red? I know I didn't until I gathered all these pictures together for you, but it is definitely a color that looks great on her and is oftentimes her pop of color. So where she takes black, white, denim, and a bunch of other shades of blue, and then adds in the red or the coral, we want to be able to do the same thing. The reason why is because when our closet is pared down to a very select group of colors, it makes it so much easier to mix and match. You'll see she does that a lot. She'll have the same top on with a couple of different pants or a couple of different skirts and vice versa. So that is definitely one key takeaway. The second part of refining your style is defining your style. And the reason why this is important is because it helps us know where to shop, what to buy, and what to purge from our existing closet. I'm going to turn her screen back so that you can see her cover. And you'll see that I said Southern and preppy and classic. Now, that's how I describe her style. I don't know how she does. But you want to be able to define your personal style in 3 words at the most. The reason why this helps is, say, for example, that I was going to describe my personal style as, say, edgy and fashion forward and maybe daring. I don't know. But say I'm walking down the mall or I'm online looking for fill in the blank piece and I come across Ann Taylor. Well, I'm not going to go in there and expect to find anything I like because their clothes aren't daring or fashion forward or edgy, right? So you immediately know if a store is right for you or not. And honestly, knowing what not to buy is half the battle. The second piece of that is when I go to organize my closet or to do a big closet purge, I can hold up a piece that maybe I'm debating on, like, oh, should I hang on to it? I spent a lot of money on it. I haven't worn it enough and all of that. And then ask myself, does it fit my style words? And if it doesn't, then it makes it so much easier to purge. Then the third piece is, does your style reflect your personal or business brand? Again, Reese Witherspoon is a perfect example of this, right? Whether it was Draper James or whether it's Hello Sunshine, her production company, they're joyful and cheerful. And when she's representing one of her brands, her clothing emulates that. A couple key takeaways from the refine section. The first one is, are we working towards our closet being pared down to a few colors with a seasonal pop here and there so that we have more mixing and matching opportunities. The second thing is when we look at a garment, whether we're thinking about buying it or we're thinking about purging it, does it reflect what we want our clothes to say about our style? And then the third one is if you have a business or personal brand, does it reflect well on that? The final step in Spark is K, and it stands for keeping it clean. And this refers to your closet. Not only keeping it clean, but keeping it well organized and shoppable. Because again, the idea is to make getting dressed faster and easier on you in the morning and less stressful. I have never been invited into Reese Witherspoon's closet. However, it's hard to imagine that her closet is a big hodgepodge, number one, because I'm sure she has help. But number two, because she has a tendency to gravitate towards those classic timeless pieces, which absolutely makes it easier to keep your closet organized. From the standpoint that it's not like, oh, this is in today, it'll be out tomorrow, and then I need to get rid of it. And always on that merry-go-round of looking for the next thing. Now, if that's you, no problem. Some of us enjoy looking for the next big thing. On the flip side, if that's not you, it's definitely something to keep in mind that those classic timeless pieces are going to be easier to work with. All right. Do you know what time it is? Yep, it's time for this week's style challenge. And this week we're going to do it a little bit differently because we had 5 very specific takeaways, right? And there is no way that anybody who doesn't do this for a living can implement 5 different things in a week. So I want you to think about the 5 steps. Which of those are you going to really lean into this week? Is it you want to find out more about the shapes and the silhouettes that look great on your figure? Or is it you want to really nail down your pant formula so you know exactly where to shop and what to look for? Is it accessories and thinking, what do I have in my jewelry box that really resonates with me and I want to do more of? Or is it refining and you're like, darn it, I'm finally going to get my colors done. And that, my friend, is a wrap. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. When you have a moment, send me a message at angelastylecoach.com and let me know what kind of style epiphanies that you had, what you still have questions about, and I will get back to you as fast as I can. Till next week, have fun and stay stylish. Thanks for tuning in to Inside Petite Style. When you're ready to create a wardrobe that fits your height, flatters your body shape, and makes getting dressed fun and easy, head over to InsidePetiteStyle.com and take my free Petite Style quiz. You'll get personalized tips and strategies made just for your proportion and your height. And hey, you know that girlfriend who's always rolling up her sleeves and hemming her pants? Share this episode with her. She needs to know she's not alone and that there are real solutions. See you next week. Until then, have fun and stay stylish.